This thing is my old compressor. It used to be the compressor for the company I worked for, and after many years of service it had its time. And instead of bringing the thing to the scrapyard, I brought it home and I tried to fix it a bit, and it served me well for many years. But for more than 11 years now I live in this house, and this 3-phase motor only works in the star configuration. And I need it in triangle, but doesn't work. And the result is that this thing now for over 11 years is standing here in my basement collecting dust and do nothing useful. And I don't want to waste time and money restoring this thing, because the head is completely dead. I need another motor, too expensive. This electrical box broken, or the valve is broken, and for the price I have to put in here to fix it, I can buy maybe 2 or 3 these small compressors, so I don't need it. And then I ask myself a question. Because in a compressor we have a cylinder, and inside moves a piston connected to a crankshaft. Up and down it sucks the air in this way and pushes the air out that way. That's more or less the idea. Is it possible to turn this thing in an air engine? Of course, the idea of a steam engine, but with compressed air, which means the air will push piston down and the piston will push air out again. And I think there's only one way to find out. Let's take this thing apart and see what we've got here. Now, if I remember well, and if I look at it, this is a two-cylinder compressor. But let's first take it off. Let's start, for example, by taking these screws out. This is the right bits. Let's go for it. Shit. Manual labor, because charging the batteries. To have access to this screw here, first I have to take off the air filter. Here you go. To get rid of this plastic part here, I need to take off the pulley, which is also fun. And because this thing, I don't need it, I gave it a few light taps from behind with my very special bolt here. And that's where I broke a piece of. But that's not a problem. As I said, I don't need it. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna continue breaking all these fins things off, and then I can take off this plastic part, and after I will find a way to get rid of this centerpiece here. That was easy enough, and the fun is this old thing weighs almost nothing. Now I suppose you understand, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I have a little bit an idea maybe, but we'll see. I'm just making things up as go, and I took my little Allen key here to take off the head and see. Before I do whatever next operation on this thing, it's maybe a good idea to give it first a good clean, because this dirty. Use the compressor to clean the compressor. To make it a bit easier for me to drain out the last drops of oil, I took off the oil pan. And here you can clearly see that this old compressor had its time. This waste is full of very small shiny particles. Old compressor. It is still not perfect, but at least now I can see what I'm dealing with. Now, what I think I'm gonna do first, because this thing when running it will not heat up, is get rid of these cooling fins here. I don't need them. Now, a little detail I wanted to show you is that to lubricate the whole system, there's only these two little pins here that turns in the oil bath. That's all. That's a very cheap and easy oily solution. But I suppose it worked. Right, let's take these two things here apart so I can cut off these fins. Of course, before taking this thing apart, I gave here two center punches marks, and also here on the flywheel side there are two center punch marks. So after, when I put it together again, I'm sure I will put it in the right way and not in the wrong one. Now, I think I found a very delicate system to take off these fins. As you can see, when I knocked it, it already broke a bit here and a little bit more here. So let's I think it looks a little bit better like this. This gives it more a broken casting look instead of a old compressor look. Right, let's see if we can put this thing back together again without breaking things. That would be something. Easy. Huh. Before I reassembled the thing here, I first took out these two little oil spattering pins, because as you can see, this is very tiny, very sharp. And so now I'm safe. I still have all my fingers and there's no holes in them, so that's good. And this is assembled and bolted together and it still spins. That's also a win. Which means it's time to take off the remnants of this fan pulley here. And because I don't have a pulley puller, I will have to find another type of finesse. Got it! This thing was held on only with a tape. I thought maybe there's this half moon key in there and that's why it doesn't come off. But I suppose with the little bit of heat that the angle grinder gave, it expanded and it came off, so that's good news. Of course I'm gonna keep this piece because I need the angle of the taper. And I think now it's time to reveal the plan I don't have. Now, this shaft is gonna need a flywheel. Maybe not this one, it's a bit too small, but we'll see. On this flywheel there will be an eccentric. Of course, on top here comes a cylinder head. The eccentric will move a kind of shaft with a 90-degree movement thing here, and in here there will be sliding valves so that the air can go in through the valve, through the cylinder head, and of course come out again. I'm pretty sure the plans will change time to time on the fly, but of course I have to start somewhere. So why not, for example, start with the cylinder head? Use the shaper. Nice finish. These two surfaces are now finished. Now the finish isn't great, but whatever. And to do these sides, I have a little height problem or clearance problem. This vise is a very nice piece of equipment, but it's also very high. So off it comes and on goes the angle plate. Made in Germany clamps. It always looks a bit stupid, but it works. Four of the 6 sides of the cylinder head are now finished, and just like it happened so many times before, and I'm sure it will happen again, I am victim of the end of the week syndrome. I already told you about it in a previous video. Which means that I have to stop right here and start editing and all this shit, you know, and continue in an upcoming video.